Welcome back to the Ice Bath Sports Podcast. I'm Griff.
And I'm Matt, and we are back from our Week 10 bye week.
We did take a little bye week.
A little impromptu. Doing this on top of working full-time jobs can be a little tedious.
Yeah,
to say the least.
A little bit.
Result in a little burnout. But we're back. We're better than ever. Griff is. But, after we've returned from our bye
week. Now.
So we're not going to go over the week we missed. I wish we did because Week 10 kind of sucked.
Week 10 did kind of suck, especially if you're a fan of my team. I don't want to talk about them. So let's talk about the Ravens and Bengals because this game was actually really good.
Yeah, this is probably the best game of the week.
100%.
And it sucked. It sucked so much to see a game like this be decided on a no call.
Yeah.
So, Ravens score. They're up 35-28. Joe Burrow drives down the field with like a minute 20 seconds left. They score. I believe that was Chase's third touchdown of the day.
Yep.
And they decided to go for two instead of kicking for the tie. And they go for two. Burrow, his first read isn't there because I believe was it Gesicki who got held by two different defenders, and it just wasn't called.
Yeah.
So he ends up throwing it too high to was it Tanner Hudson, and nothing was made out of it, and the
Ravens win it.
The Ravens win, which it's crazy because I believe something similar happened the first time they played. I remember Lamar Jackson driving down the field late and making some like insane throw like while being tackled out of the sideline for a touchdown. Was it Likely maybe? But I mean, these two lately when they've been matched up, it's been a great game. You would have thought the Bengals won, judging by Jamar Chase's stat line. He's not from this planet. He went for 11 catches, 264 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I think he has better stats in that one game than Jalen Reagor has in his entire career in the NFL.
That's actually crazy. Yeah, Jamar Chase went nuts. Burrow, 34 of 56, 428 and 4 touchdowns. I mean, if you had the Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow stack, you probably won.
Yeah.
What are you looking up, Jalen Reagor?
Jalen Reagor. I didn't realize he had he was a little more productive than I thought he was with us. Jalen Reagor in his career has 83 catches for 1,013 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Aren't you so glad you guys drafted him over Jettas?
We got A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith now. All I'm focused on the future, baby.
Imagine Jettas, A.J. Brown, and Devonta Smith.
Dude, we took J.J. Arcega-Whiteside over D.K. Metcalf.
Yeah,
we could have had D.K.
true.
Metcalf and Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
And you know what? Carson Wentz probably would have still been our quarterback.
Probably.
So, I mean, just those draft picks, and look at how different a team is now because of them. But hey, we're contending now. And that's all that matters.
Lamar's looking to, follow up his MVP campaign. 290 passing, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's insane. What's that bring him on the year? Let me look that up quick.
A lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah, he's just been insane. Because like his passing production has been MVP.
I think he only has 1 or 2 picks too.
Has been like an MVP candidate, but then you add his rushing on top of that. So he has he's completing 69% of his passes.
Very
nice. He has 2,669 yards passing, 24 passing touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and he's got another 538 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns.
He's not human.
He's got to be the MVP.
Yeah.
What's crazy is Joe Burrow and Josh Allen are also having insane years, and they're not even really close to Lamar.
Yeah, I mean, Burrow's having a really good year.
Yeah, Burrow's got almost 2,700 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, but he doesn't have the rushing production. He had that one big run against the Giants.
He did.
So it's interesting to see how this plays out. Crazy the drop off in quarterback play from in the AFC North. There you have Lamar, you have Burrow, and then you have James Winston.
Yeah.
I mean, Russell Wilson's been actually playing pretty good, so I'm not going to put him in that category. More on that later. But But the Ravens' offense is insane.
Yeah,
and you have
really
Derrick
good.
Henry in that backfield too, who we haven't talked about. Did he pass 1,000 rushing yards yet? Yes, he has 1,100 rushing yards through 10 games.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's on pace for he very well could have another 2,000 rushing yard season. They still have not had their bye week though, so but I don't think anyone's catching him. Next closest person is Saquon with 991, which also is insane. But Derrick Henry is just like Jamar Chase, not from this planet. The thing about the Ravens though is they don't have any defense.
No, their defense has been pretty bad.
Yeah, it's been rough.
Roquan looks a little washed.
Yeah, I mean their secondary has been really, really, really bad.
Yeah, but no, their offense is just good enough to outscore teams.
Yeah, well, I mean they've been letting up a lot of points. They shut down Denver, but you know Cleveland 29. You give up 31 to Tampa, 23 to Washington, 38 to the Bengals. Yeah, I mean it hasn't really showed up over the last half of the year. And the Bengals just can't catch a break, man.
Yeah, no, they're pretty bad.
Well, but that's the thing; they're not bad. It's just
their defense is not very good.
Yeah, because we just said Burrow and Chase are killing it. Their offense isn't the issue; it's the defense, and they just can't close out these games.
Are they 3-7 though?
They're 4-6.
Oh,
so I mean they're still in it.
It's tough when the Steelers and the Ravens are both playing very well.
Right. Well, and how many? Who do they have left on their schedule? They have two more games against Pitt and a game against Cleveland. Those games against Pitt are going to be big.
Those games are massive for them.
I mean, they need to at the very least split.
Yeah,
they need to win one of those games.
Yeah,
preferably both if possible. But as I was saying before, Week 10 was kind of not a great week for football. It was a lot of games that I thought were subpar at best.
Yeah, 100%. The Panthers defeat the Giants in Germany 20-17. That game. I mean, the ground game for both teams was pretty good. Hubbard looked good.
Tracy looked good until
he fumbled.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We all know how you feel about London. The international games, I should say.
Oh, yeah.
And Giants, Panthers. I mean, what could you pick two worst teams to play in Germany?
You could.
I mean, second worst thing that ever happened in Germany.
Yeah.
I mean, Daniel Jones. How is this guy still starting? 190 yards, 2 interceptions. This game was tough to watch.
Daniel Jones was just tough to watch.
Yeah, I mean the Giants just have been overall, and Carolina. Bryce Young actually didn't look horrible.
That's 2 straight weeks where he really didn't look horrible.
Yeah, who would have thought that you give a rookie or second-year quarterback a little time to develop? You know, he might end up being good. That's the whole thing though, and that's a whole conversation for another day. Is Brady's right? You know, these quarterbacks need to be developed, and they're coming so early out of college, most of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these NFL teams don't have any patience.
Yeah.
Which, like, I understand because it is a business, and you are, you know, trying to win games and get fans in seats and maximize your revenue sources. But you know, you're also changing the game for the worse.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, speaking of that, we've got the Patriots rookie quarterback Drake May, who's actually looked very good since he started. Since he became the starter in New England. Patriots defeat the Bears 19-3. The Bears are a disaster right now.
Yeah, Caleb Williams, number 1 pick, again, another guy, came out a little early. He's got no protection in Chicago. That's the issue. Did you see the video of him getting knocked down? I don't know if it was a sack or just a quarterback hit, and none of his offensive line came over to pick him, help him up. A Patriots D lineman came over, helped pick him up, patted him on the head like, "It's okay, champ," and sent him on his way. So the Bears aren't even looking out for this guy. You almost feel bad for Caleb Williams.
They fired their OC at least.
Yeah, they did. They did.
I forget who their OC was.
Irrelevant. That's what
They hired him this year too.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's inexcusable. You have Caleb Williams, who number 1 overall pick, looked great in college, throwing to Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, what should have been one of a top at least 10 wide receiver duo. Yeah. And then you draft Rome Odunze, top 10 receiver. I mean,
you bring in DeAndre Swift.
Who's been solid.
And you have Cole Kmet, who's been a top 10 to 15 tight end in the league. So
all these offensive weapons, and yet you can't do anything with them. And you know, the offensive line definitely plays a large part in all of that. But at what point, like, do you just try to, like, maybe run the ball more? You got to look at the offensive line and play to your strengths.
I don't know if there are many strengths.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't watched enough Bears football to tell you. All I know is Caleb Williams is getting destroyed. He was sacked 9 times against the Patriots.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's pretty bad. And then the Vikings defeating the Jaguars 12-7. What an ugly game. Mac Jones versus Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I think it's also hilarious that as we're, like, dissing on all these games and how bad they were, we're still talking about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam Darnold, 3 interceptions. Mac Jones, 2 interceptions.
Maybe Mac Jones isn't very good.
No passing touchdowns from either. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is Justin Jefferson, 5 catches, 48 yards. Screwed me. I just needed one more catch for, 5 yards, and I would have beaten Griff this week.
You would have. Shout out Puka Nacua, though.
But I unfortunately did not.
I got you by, it might have been less than a point.
It was 1.3 points.
Oh, very nice.
Would have been,
Did not even realize till this morning.
And it all came down to my decision to play Zach Ertz over Pat Freiermuth.
That's tough.
I didn't think that a win would come down to playing 2 mediocre tight ends, but alas, it did.
Happens, man.
You know
My
what else?
team's making a comeback.
You know what else happens? Jared Goff having bad games.
Yeah, but you know what also happens? The Lions find ways to win them.
They do. Well, because Jared Goff, here's a guy that, all season. Yeah, here's a guy. He all season he's had really, really good performances. Like, he was killing it all year. And then he comes out against Houston and throws 5 interceptions.
Yep.
5 interceptions.
5 interceptions and wins the game. That's crazy. And Joe Burrow throws for almost 504 touchdowns and loses. Crazy how the NFL works.
Have you seen the John Gruden TikTok videos?
No.
Where he's playing the "Got Me Feeling Nicey," and he's going like feral.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to be featuring the Houston Texans secondary.
Yeah.
You know what's got me feeling really nicey? That Houston Texans secondary.
You know what doesn't really have me feeling very nicey? C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, he's fallen apart without Nico Collins.
He's been bad.
No
Collins, no Diggs. I guess it's
sophomore slump for sure. I want to say, I looked earlier, he's either quarterback 17 or I want to say 18. I think he might be quarterback 18 on the year in fantasy.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I benched him this week in one of my leagues, but last week I started him. He put up like -6.
That's tough. Have you seen the leagues where if a quarterback gets a tackle,
they get 100 points? Yeah.
Oh.
Tua got one.
Yeah.
The head tackle. Bro's still leaning with that.
This guy's asking for CTE. Like
he's already got it. It's just screaming, "Give me more!"
Yeah. He's addicted. It's like a gambling.
You know who did have a good game though? John Mechie.
John Mechie. Yeah. Here's the guy. Now here's the guy. I gotta stop saying that, man. That it has a great story.
He does.
Beats cancer. Comes back. Was great in college. Was he a 3rd round pick?
He was either 3rd or 4th.
Round 2. He was 2nd round pick.
He would have gone 1st round if he didn't get hurt. So he I think he either broke his ankle or tore his ACL or something like that.
I think it might have been an ACL tear.
Then he got diagnosed with cancer and was going to miss the whole year after he had already recovered from his knee injury.
Okay, pause. That sounds like a horrible year for a guy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, first you tear your ACL and put your future career at risk that you.
Yeah, I mean, you start with that. He was going to be a first round pick. He was a beast at Bama.
Well, and then to make matters worse, you also have cancer.
Yeah,
that's some.
Well, that was his first career touchdown.
Yeah, so good for him. Great story. 5 catches, 74 yards, and touchdown. I'm not sure how
sustainable
that is in fantasy. With Nico Collins expected to come back very, very soon.
Should be back this week, actually.
And you still have Tank Dell there, but I do think that's something to monitor. I think he could end up being a playmaker for them going forward the rest of the season.
I agree. Let's jump into our Week 11 picks.
Heck yeah, man.
Thursday Night Football. Commanders at your Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
On the
road to victory.
I'm taking Philly here. I think it's going to come down to a field goal, though. They always play tight games.
EAGLES, Eagles. Yeah, no, Washington owns us.
Yeah, kind of.
They do. And the worst thing possible happened in Week 10. They lost.
Yeah.
So now they're pissed off coming off a loss, going into Philly. That's scary. That's pretty scary. But I have faith in my Philadelphia Eagles because our defense has been playing lights out. Vic Fangio has them boys hungry, man. Hungry dogs run faster. Let's go. And Philly's going to take this one. Philly's at home. You're riding a lot of momentum ever since DeJean started to start in our secondary.
Mm-hmm.
And Fangio made some adjustments at the bye. Our defense has looked insane. It's looked so good. Bryce Huff has actually found his footing. He's been making plays.
I miss him.
You want him back?
Please.
No, trade deadline's over, man. But I think Philly wins this one in a close one, like Griff had said.
Green Bay at Chicago. I'm taking Green Bay on the road.
Yeah, Chicago has fallen apart.
Yep.
And Green Bay's coming off a bye. What's not to love there?
Yeah, I mean, I just can't pick Chicago. Haha. I can't bring myself to pick Chicago after how bad they looked against New England.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's telltale sign. If you look that bad against New England after 2020, I mean, it's not a good sign for your team. I mean, for all the reasons Chicago it isn't good, as we mentioned before. Give me Green Bay.
This will be another ugly one for one team. We got Jacksonville at Detroit. Give me Detroit by 1 million.
Yeah, Jacksonville. Is Mac Jones starting or is T-Law back?
T-Law might be done for a while.
It's an AC joint or something?
Yeah. That's not good.
Not looking good for him. Not that he was really a difference maker.
No, but
he was a little more confident.
He's still
than Mac
better
Jones.
than Mac Jones, yeah. So give me Detroit by a lot. Detroit looked obviously shaky, especially Jared Goff. I think he gets it back on track here, and they put up close to 50.
I just don't think Jacksonville's defense is going to be good enough to contain Detroit.
I totally agree.
And so now you're going to have Detroit putting up points, and Mac Jones at helm isn't the type of guy that's going to be able to go toe for toe with that Detroit offense and, score enough to keep up with them.
Yeah.
Detroit by 20.
Minnesota at Tennessee. I'm taking Minnesota here.
Yeah, Minnesota. Although I will say, foreshadowing, Levis did look pretty good last week. I just think Tennessee as a whole is just a bad team, though.
Yeah, they're not very good.
So I do like Minnesota here. Especially Minnesota needs to bounce back after a sloppy game against Jacksonville. But I think Tennessee can make this competitive. I think Tennessee could give teams a little bit of a dogfight going out the rest of the year if Levis can play like he did last week.
Yeah, I agree with you. We got the Raiders at the Dolphins.
Woo!
I'm gonna take the Dolphins. They didn't look they didn't look great last night, but they didn't look terrible either. I think Tua's starting to get back into the swing of things a bit. He, another quiet night from Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle hasn't looked very good.
No.
The offense is gonna click, and it's gonna run through Tua. They're looking like a a better Miami football team, though, and they're a better team than the Raiders.
Yeah. This Miami defense definitely isn't as good as the the Zach Thomas days, but their offense, like you said, is getting back into the swing of things, and the Raiders are the Raiders. They're not very good. I think they've kind of mailed it in for the year. This is just kind of a game Miami's got to go in. You're home, you win, and you move on to the next. But who do they play next? Miami can't get caught looking ahead, or else this could be a tough game for them. They play New England.
They can look ahead.
They can look ahead. No, I mean I think you said it perfectly. They're shaking off Tua's shaking off the rust, getting back in the swing of things. Give me Miami at home by 14.
Yeah, I agree with that. Rams at the Patriots. This is a bounce back game for the Rams. I think Stafford throws for 303 touchdowns, and they win by 2 to 3 scores.
I don't think it's gonna be that much of a blowout because I am a Drake May truther.
I do think he's good,
and he's very good.
Unfortunately,
but the Rams are also gonna. I think the Rams win. I just don't think it's gonna be a blowout by any means.
No, that's fair.
Rams, you have Puka Nacua back, Cooper Kupp back. Like Miami, they're getting back into their true form.
Yeah.
And they're a team that I would not want to see in the playoffs.
No, I agree with you. Cleveland at New Orleans. We got a pretty bad slate this week.
Yeah. I'm going Cleveland.
I am too.
New Orleans doesn't have any receivers right now.
Yeah.
And Cleveland's coming off a bye.
Yeah.
I
have faith in Jameis.
And J-Mo revenge game. He was
a saint for a bit.
Yeah, he was a saint for a little bit. And they went the Derek Carr route instead of the Jameis Winston route. So
we'll see how that one pays off.
I'm sure there's a little animosity there.
Yeah, probably. Give me Cleveland though.
Yeah, J-Mo's going for 4 touchdowns, baby.
I could see it.
And 4
picks. Yeah. Indy at the Jets.
Oh, the great slate continues.
I'm gonna do it to myself. I'm taking the Jets. I don't know why. I just don't think I could really bring myself to picking Indy either. So I hope both teams have fun and move on to Week 12.
Well, Flacco
has not looked good. He has not looked good the last 2 weeks.
But they did turn it on towards the end. They only lost by 10 to the Bills.
Yeah.
Bills did cover the spread for all you people betting out there.
What was it, 9.5?
I don't remember. I think it was like 7.
Oh.
Or no, actually, it might have been less. It might have been 4 actually.
Damn.
Yeah. Vegas had the Colts. I thought a little too highly regarded. Flacco had three picks last week, but Jonathan Taylor looked really good. I mean, he was running all over Buffalo.
Yeah, he's looked pretty good all season.
Yeah, I got to go Indy here. I think the Jets will make this a game. You have all the haters coming out. Everyone's talking bad-mouthing them. It would be vintage Aaron Rodgers to come out and go for 5 touchdowns and a win. But until I see it, I got to go Indy.
That's fair. Baltimore at Pitt. This one should be a good one.
Yes, I'm going Baltimore.
I am too. I just, I don't know. Picking against Pitt feels a little wrong just because they've been so consistently good.
Right. Well, that Pitt's defense is just insane.
Their defense is very good, and I'm interested to see how they fare against the Baltimore offense, which is unreal.
Right.
It's just so tough to slow down Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson.
Well, that's the thing is I think Pitt, where their defense thrives, is against the pass. Now you bring in a team that has a tremendous rushing attack, probably the best rushing attack in Baltimore.
Yeah.
That's hard to stop if you're Pitt. Hard to stop for anybody, but Pitt especially because they I don't think their run defense isn't top 5, top 10. It's kind of middle of the pack.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm going Baltimore. I think it's a very close one though.
Atlanta at Denver.
Yeah, give me Atlanta.
Yeah, I hate Denver.
Me too.
I don't know if I've made that known yet.
Me too.
Hate Sean Payton. Denver is pretenders. The pretenders in Denver. Give me Atlanta.
Yeah, I got Atlanta by.
Atlanta's also coming off a upset loss to the Saints.
Yeah.
So they're going to be all fired up.
This is a Kirk O'Chain's bounce back game, though.
Oh, yeah.
Seattle at San Fran.
McCaffrey's back. Give me San Fran.
Yeah, me too.
San Fran might run the table.
I could see it.
They very well might.
Yeah, I can see it. They just look like San Fran again.
They do. Like he was the missing piece for sure. I don't need to talk much more about that game.
Kansas City at Buffalo. See, now we're getting to the good games.
Yeah. Give me Buffalo.
Really?
Yeah. So my reasoning behind this is Casey has won so many close games.
Every single game they've played was close.
Yeah, and they've lucked out so many times. Eventually, that they're going to hit a wall.
They will. I don't think it's this week.
I think so. Buffalo. If there's anybody that hates KC more in the NFL, it's probably Buffalo because they get eliminated from.
That is true.
From them, like it seems every year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Josh Allen again, another guy that's probably pissed. Now KC does have an insanely good defense. I think it's gonna be a great game. I think it's gonna be a low scoring game. Hammer the under on this, but I think Buffalo can win this.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I wish that one was the one that got flexed to Sunday night.
It will be interesting to see if Amari Cooper and Keon Coleman play.
Yeah.
I think that's also going to be a big factor here.
Yeah, I agree. Sunday night, Cincy at the Chargers. This was supposed to be Jets and Indy. I just want to throw that out there.
Thank God.
Oh, my God. Could you imagine we had to watch this current Jets team against this current Colts team? Oh, my God.
Thank God there was a flex.
Yeah, thank God.
Chargers defense has been playing really, really well. They've been playing really good football. I think they're 6-3 under Harbaugh.
They are.
Now.
They are. They only won 5 games last year.
Yeah. This is a team that
and they have the same team and lost Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, and they already have more wins.
I did see that. Yeah. With that defense, anything's possible. But since he's coming off a heartbreaking loss, I think Cincy needs to win a lot more than the Chargers do. And
they do. I'm taking the Chargers, though.
Really?
Yeah, Chargers at home.
I can see this going either way. I'm leaning Cincy just because I think Cincy needs a freaking break, man.
This one it's screaming like a 2017 game. Just comes down to a game-winning field goal from somebody.
Yeah. Evan McPherson, baby.
Houston at Dallas Monday night.
Ooh, that's...
Houston's been struggling.
Yeah.
Dallas is bad.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I've said this before on the podcast, but I have a few guilty pleasures. I like rom-coms. I like the Watermelon Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, those are fire.
Sometimes, I really enjoy, Taco Bell at like 2 a.m. But nothing brings me more joy than seeing the Dallas Cowboys suck. Not even just lose, suck.
Oh, no.
Now, I haven't seen it a lot in my lifetime.
No.
But that just makes me enjoy it that much more.
They're going to be very bad the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Cooper Rush and Trey Lance. Good luck.
If you must be pretty sick if you want to see us Cowboys fail, well then,
you're in the hospital, brother.
Yeah, I'm half a foot away from 6 feet under, man, because I love it.
Give me Houston by 1 million.
Oh yeah, Houston's gonna come and destroy. If Collins comes back, give me Houston by 30.
Yeah. Teams on a bye: the Giants, the Cardinals, the Bucks, and the Carolina Panthers.
Heck yeah.
We haven't done this in a while.
We have not. The waiver wire watch returns.
Coming in hot.
Pew, 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 pew.
The first quarterback on the list, we got Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson quietly flying under the radar since he reclaimed his starting quarterback job over Justin Fields. So far through 3 games, he's got 767 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, and only 1 interception, while finishing as a top 10 fantasy quarterback twice. Russ is cooking and is only rostered in 30% of sleeper leagues. If you need a quarterback, whether it's for your bye or if your starter stinks, go grab him.
Yeah, you got to snag Wilson. Let Russ cook. Let's go.
Steel curtain.
Steel curtain.
Let's weld.
Oh, yeah. Love that. Next guy on this list is also a quarterback.
From Broncos country.
Broncos country. Let's ride. It's Bo motherfrickin' Nix, baby. Speaking of under-the-radar quarterbacks, I don't think there's been a fantasy quarterback that's flown under the radar as much as Bo Nix. The rookie quarterback currently ranks as quarterback 9 in fantasy this season. Bo Nix, quarterback 9. You know what's still very well alive? Your rookie of the year pick.
That's insane to me. If you watch him like the first 2 weeks of the season, like he actually hasn't been bad lately.
No, he's actually been very, very good. He's been efficient. You know who he reminds me of? Might be a little bit of a hot take. He reminds me a little bit of Brock Purdy.
You know, I see that.
Yeah.
But he's also got wheels.
Right. Yeah, like a more mobile Brock Purdy.
He's got wheels.
Because you watch him play, and he's very tactile.
Not gonna lie, I forgot I picked him as my offensive rookie of the year.
He's very, very tactile with where he throws the ball.
Yeah.
And we've gone off script a little bit, but it's okay. It's Bo Nix, baby. Bo motherfrickin' Nix. He's one of those guys. He's not flashy, but he puts up numbers.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know. Maybe that's just like a fantasy football perspective for me, but he reminds me a lot like Brock Purdy. Now, he is quarterback 9 in fantasy this season. He's shown a lot of flashes. Most recently in week 8, where he finished as quarterback, you guessed it, 3. Quarterback 3 as a rookie quarterback that's not named Jaden Daniels. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Nix is young. As we said, he has rushing upside. And best part is he's available in more than half of sleeper leagues. So you may want to look into picking him up if he's available. Or if you're in a dynasty league like Griff is, looking to trade him for that dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see it. Except for most of my trade deadlines passed already, so there goes that. Next up, we got New Orleans Saints wide receiver. As we mentioned, they have none right now. MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Oh, yeah. Say that 5 times fast.
He is on this list based on pure speculation. With both Olave and Rashid Shaheed on IR, the Saints are extremely weak at the position.
Very thin.
However, the targets need to go somewhere, and we saw that on full display. MVS had 109 yards and 2 touchdowns. And, I mean, that's just what you get out of him, though.
Yeah.
The veteran wideout is going to be targeted by Carr a lot as long as Olave is not out there, and he's only rostered in 4% of sleeper leagues. So if you are very thin at wide receiver and your waivers are pretty thin, might be a guy you want to take a gamble on.
That's going to jump probably like 35% this week.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to go after MVS.
Yeah.
But I think all the people going after him are also going to maybe forget that he is very boomer bust.
Oh, 100%.
He's going to have a week like he did last week.
Well,
and then he's going to go and get...
He's just like Rashid Shaheed.
Right, he's going to go and get 3 points the next week. Although Rashid Shaheed was showing a lot of consistency this year before he got hurt.
Yeah, that's true.
He was developing as a receiver. Meanwhile, MVS is on the wrong side of 30. And the last guy on this list, somebody you should take a shot on, is Ricky Pearsall, the San Francisco 49ers receiver. Yes, this is the 49ers rookie receiver who was shot and still returned before Christian McCaffrey. Now, Pearsall was a popular addition on waivers last week, but he is still available in almost half of sleeper leagues. And with Christian McCaffrey finally back, this passing attack has seen improvement, tremendous improvement. Ayuk's out for the season. Pearsall's the clear-cut number 2 receiver, not number 2 option, because I know they have McCaffrey, Deebo, Kittle, Juszczyk. No, he's an option. He's not the number 2 option, but he's the number 2 receiver. I want to clarify that. And we've already seen what he can do. This past week, he had 4 catches for 73 yards and a touchdown, which is very, very solid production for a fantasy receiver. Sign me up for that every week if you could.
Yeah, 100%.
That was kind of what Amon-Ra St. Brown was putting up his second year in the league. It was kind of a stat line kind of like that. A couple more catches, but get this guy while you can. Take a shot on him.
Yeah.
Tripling down on that joke.
I know. All right, that'll pretty much wrap it up. Hope you guys enjoy this week of football. We went over, there's some pretty bad games, but there are some very good ones. And make sure to check us out on social media in the description below.
Keep in mind. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I am going to interrupt you. Even if the games suck, put yourself in June, July, when there is no football, and you know what you're hoping for? Anything. You might even dabble in a little USFL because you want to scratch that itch.
Not if you're a Jets fan.
Well, they might be better than the Jets.
They might be
playing better football.
They might be.
But yeah, you continue.
And we'll see you guys next week. As always, stay cool.